Oh, I got was a golf clap. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm back again, once again. See, the Den22 is already there in the chat. Sideburns is in the chat. He'll be here in a second, I'm sure. In a while. This is my inking homework from Hubert class, and I'm trying to finish it because the teacher said it was unlikely that anyone would finish before Wednesday. I think he said that. I'm going to finish. I'm almost done. Well, I say almost. Like, this is a lot, and then this is just a little. I've got these two heads, the weapon, and this lightning stuff shouldn't take that long. I'm not going to black it out. Presumably, that would be done digitally, I would think. Hey, Gon. Guess who's here? One moment, please. Here we go. Yeah. I only got a small clap.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
You got the big clap. Well, there we go.
That's crazy.
The studio audience seems to like you a lot better.
Mm-hmm. How have you been? With those
pretty good. Recovering from having my teeth.
Oh man,
my teeth.
I was wondering if you were like gonna just like cancel because of that, or I mean, you don't really have to do it if you want.
It's not too bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
I lived.
So, you got the wisdom teeth removed? Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I still have them. Do you still have your wisdom teeth?
Might have gotten rid of them when I was 25. I'm not too sure. Somewhere in my 20s, I got rid of them.
Fair enough.
I fared pretty good, I guess. There were a couple times where I had like eye operations that had I mean like eyelid operations that had cysts in them.
Oh, that's
they were kind of painful. And also you kind of have to do those when you're awake a little. But your eyelids numb, you're administered anesthesia in your eye, but yeah.
That would still be freaky.
Not pretty. I wore an eye patch for a little bit.
That's kind of a cool drip, though. I mean, you could still kind of rock that.
Speaking of drip, I saw your military garb thing. Photo
that's me
on Instagram. I at first didn't recognize you
that's me.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, I've kind of known you a little bit, but yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, that's you. It's strange there was no puppy mask though. That's strange.
There was no puppy mask. That's right. What happened? They didn't issue those back then, but now it's standard gear, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is going on with the world right now.
That was kind of almost like oh, is this someone you know kind of thing. What my first impression was, I'm like, oh, that's good that you're paying respect to. Oh wait, it's you, right?
Yeah.
Because I kind of know what he looks like in some
like instances.
You've done a stream with Marsh, I think, once with that.
Yep, it's a long time ago.
Long time. Yeah, but that's sort of knowledge for me. Yeah, but that was kind of neat. It's kind of a holiday right now, right? Memorial.
That's correct. It's Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Not a happy. It's not like a happy holiday. It's more like it's the end of World War One, and that became this memorial-ish day. Kind of a sad day, really, but it's a Veterans Day. That is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month.
Is that a cover you're working on? Or?
It is. This is a cover to Flashpoint, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's an Andy Kubert cover.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm doing a great job with it, but yeah, this is the homework for the inking class.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher said he didn't think we were going to finish it. He was like, well, I don't think anybody will finish this before next class, but here it is. And if you finish it, you can use it as a portfolio piece or something. I think he's just trying to overwhelm us at the end of class so nobody said anything. But I have one class left, right? It's, I think, last class left. And then I think I'm going to finish it. I don't know. I don't know if I've done very good. This is the problem. If you look real closely, it's blue lines, right? And you can find this. Anybody could find this cover if you look at Flashpoint Unwrapped. It's one of they released it as a the uninked cover was released as an alternate cover, but anybody can get the graphic in high res. So anybody could ink this if they wanted to. But if you look at it, the blue lines are like in two tones. Like you can see flat. No, this is Aquaman. Like if you did that all black, it would just disappear, just kind of like Cyborg's face did. And then Batman is supposed to be all completely blacked out. So I'm leaving some of it uninked. For some reason, it's supposed to be Wonder Woman, but that didn't look like Wonder Woman to me. But did my best with it.
Yeah. I'm kind of been busy with models. Oh, sorry.
No, that's cool. With your I saw you actually got your silicone model.
Yeah.
Or,
I did a video of that yesterday, and I got the I've been pretty busy with those. I'm actually thinking of making like a chest set for like a project, like a chest, like just models of chest pieces. And
that's a good idea.
I'm thinking of doing it in the 9-volt theme, just for fun.
I think that would be really cool.
Making little characters from the 9-volt anthology as like rooks, as king, queens, and
that's a cool idea.
Guess who's a bishop? Anyway. Yeah.
Well, you gotta have it's gotta be
that was my first thought when that's like my first thought. I thought I was gonna make him a rook. Well, I was making him into a rook, but then I realized the bishop's not the rook. That tells you how much I know my chess, right? I'm a chess master, but I like looked into the sizes and dimensions of the pieces. So a normal one, not like the size of the board, right? They each have squares, and they're like 2 inches in every width. And every and they're like 2 inches across, and and I was looking up the pieces, and I discovered rooks and like bishops are actually different, and almost like I'm thinking, I have which means I can make it, I think, the bishop character a little bit more like his Buckshot Wizard. I have some plans for it. These are some I've made. This is some I've already made. I've made like a fist, and that's gonna be one of the bishops actually, right?
Oh, cool idea. Yeah.
Like, and that's gonna like be Prometheus' power fist almost.
That'll be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the forearm guards.
Mm-hmm.
The funny thing is, so the forearm guards, they're also Starlock. Starlock wears the same ones because they're he's from the same extended family.
Yeah.
Have you seen do you know what the Lewis chessmen are? Have you heard of that?
Lewis chess? No. Oh, I think no, I don't know.
You might have seen it before.
I don't know.
So it's an ancient set of chessmen that were found in Scandinavia somewhere, I think. And let's see if I can bring them up here. Lewis chessmen, and they're really cool. They're like super interesting. Let's see if I can find him. All right, hang on. Present your screen.
Might be more layers.
Lewis Chessman. Okay. So here's the Wikipedia page about him. But they're they're real cartoony looking when you get them up close. They're just kind of interesting little these little guys. They were found in Scotland. That's where they were. Look, I like this guy.
Scandinavian. He's the king, right?
I think that's the king sitting down. No, that's the king. This is the queen. This guy right here is might be a pawn, I think.
I think the hat gives away it's Scandinavian because of the sort of Viking feel, like idea.
I think
actually, maybe the back is the king one, the one in the back right.
Yeah, that must be the
not
king
the
one
furthest.
Right
yeah, I see it. Yeah,
off to the right. Let me move it a little bit.
I thought the front guy was the king.
Thought maybe this guy. I like their eyes though. They crack me up.
Yeah.
I got these like little bug eyes. Let's see if I escape out of that. Can I escape out of that? Maybe, maybe not. Let's see if there's another picture of them.
I had a battery at hand for reference.
Oh, okay. The pawns are like tombstones or looking things. And then this is a knight over here on the right.
I had ideas for like another set that were like a sort of spacefaring like ship, like in Star Wars there's this ship, and I'd make the I was thinking the king would be like the main dreadnought ship, and the pawns would be like what are they called? Escape pods. Basically.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Excuse me.
Bless you.
All right. Yep.
Wait, maybe you could even do like droids or something like that, or drones, or that would be really cool. Regardless.
Yeah, I mean it's more like a space battle kind of chess set than thinking like they be in the shape of different ships, and the pawns would just be the escape pods because they go first. Apparently, there's a mutiny, but I'm gonna make the pawns in this one then like batteries because 9-volt, right? It's like little batteries.
Yeah, oh, that's a great idea.
Not as smooth as I like, but because it's actually not really an accurate battery. You wouldn't have you have a top bit with a positive and bottom has nothing. It's like negative. Well, that would be that's what I'd have to like fix about the next model if I make another one. Which seems pretty likely. Not the best sculptor in the world. And painting's alright, I guess.
Yeah, you're picking it up though. I mean, you're doing it a lot.
Yep.
I'm afraid to put my hand in this, so I'm gonna let this dry for a while and switch on to the next thing.
That looks like a lot of work.
It is. It is a lot of well, this is mostly dry, but I just did his head, and I did the body. This big black section right here was done just about an hour ago or 2 hours ago.
How long has time elapsed for this? Do you think?
I got the blue lines on Wednesday night, and I didn't work on it that night. I worked on it, but I started on it pretty much the next day. I'm trying to stay ahead of it so that I don't disappoint. It's Andy Kubert did the original. I don't know if you can see that. His signature is here, and then my signature for the inking is going to be underneath.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. It's kind of cool. Is that and I didn't even realize. Oh, I'm looking at your little guy over there. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. That is going to be cool.
They won't all be painted though. They'll just have a coat of paint. One will be white and one black.
If you do a whole chess set and you have the molds, you could maybe even produce it after a while, or you could maybe get it 3D scanned and make a 3D print of it later or something. That's such a cool idea. You could sell it on your website, like own the chess set. That is cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was just thinking, it was so easy to get the blue lines. It wasn't a problem. They're available anywhere. That, maybe I should be doing that more often, where you just get some blue lines and start inking them. I have this thing that I was going to do. It's not exactly finished pencils, but this is the other thing I wanted to ink today. This time I'm going to start at the top. Well, I can't do that. Some people can do it like a printer, where they just start at the top and just, they're just going down, and they avoid thus putting your hand in the ink as you're going.
Yeah.
I apparently can't do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to look up batteries.
What flavor are the crystals mentioned in the description? Watermelon, says Sideburns.
Of course.
I was going to say, that you have an option for blue raspberry. Blue raspberry. There's no such thing as a blue raspberry, unfortunately.
6.
I'm going to do this whole thing with a nib pen.
You know what? I think I'll black it out for the time being. Oh, my bad. It's also daylight savings over there, right?
Yes, that's why. So if you were wondering if it seemed like an hour late to you, it wasn't meant to be. But it's throwing me off too, because it's dark here right now, and it's not usually dark.
Yeah. It's all right.
And it gets dark like in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it just, you turn around and look, and it's completely dark.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I need to keep it dry for some detail. I did I don't know if you've seen the pumpkin one. Did that too. This was using some dye. It actually looks very orange, but it's red. With it's just I poured the dye onto it and then rubbed it out with tissues. That gives.
It's looking good. It has kind of a satiny look to it. Is that
That's
on
weird.
purpose? Yeah, it looks like it's a satin, like a shiny, almost reflective in places.
But I only got to paint this one. This one I added more I used this sort of gouache acrylic, but called Matte Flow. It's called. But it came off the first time. This was the orange.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And then I added the ink on top, and as I was doing that, as I was brushing away the ink, the paint stripped off, so I added it in again. Happy with that, how that turned out. But
actually, it's kind of cool. It looks like the darker shades sunk down to the lower.
Yeah, I think that was I think that's the point of that. It gets into the little pieces, so it's not. It doesn't rely on cast shadows to give it dimension, or something like that. This really works with this design. Oops. Kind of makes it look like it's been in a chimney, but at least sharpens some details. I like that.
Yeah. Well, if you start with that step where you've kind of done the wash and it sinks down, and then you do the dry brushing over the top, it'll pick up the highlights. So you get both the shades and the highlights that way. There's it's called this. If you look up the slap chop miniature painting technique that's used in like Warhammer and war game miniatures type stuff. It's called slap chop. It's so you can get your stuff painted super quick. And it's basically, it amounts to, you paint the whole thing black,
Mm-hmm.
Right, they're primed in black, and
Yep.
then you put on base colors. Then you throw down like a wash, like a shade that's like
Yeah.
darkens it.
I think that might have been a thing. I think it didn't have that bottom base to cling to, that primed base, like you said.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah, it probably wouldn't do well. I mean, probably the quality of painting I'm using, but affects it too. And
what kind
some
of
of them
paint are you
have
using?
it's called matte flow acrylic. I think it's meant to be a Typhus gouache, but um,
Oh, okay.
some don't have as much opacity. Some have less. Like I think this alizarin
Alizarin, yes.
has
Crimson.
it's sort of a crimson, and it's pigment to one. No, this kind of has less of that in some cases. The white will definitely be more opaque. I suppose it's how you apply it. Um, that really matters, but not sure.
I like to get the craft paints, which come in like the plastic bottle,
Mm-hmm.
the little plastic bottle. Those seem to be okay for miniatures anyway, at least for miniatures. During the winter, I started last year. I was going downstairs and I was painting miniatures, and I couldn't figure out how to get my phone because I don't have my whole computer down there. So I had to do it on my
Uh-huh.
phone. I couldn't figure out how to get my phone turned to film, in sideways mode, portrait mode. I mean,
Oh yeah,
landscape mode. But now I know, so I'm gonna do it again this year.
I believe in you.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna and try and do a better job with that because I was like, this would be fun if I could actually get it to be in landscape mode.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know how to do that.
Sugar, it's not okay. All right, too big. We might need a little detail brush.
So one thing's for sure, I really like this Maru nib, except I can't. Every once in a while, it's really hard to get it started, and I like the flexy of it, but every once in a while, it just does not. I would prefer it to the. This nib is like a calligraphy nib.
Mm.
It's not very. It's expressive, but it's super reliable. This one is super expressive, but it's not reliable at all. So you have to like make your choices with it.
Did you own a Muji like fountain pen like I have right here?
I have the exact one you have. Yeah, it's the aluminum.
Aluminum, yeah, it's right here actually. This one. It's really nice. The water fast. I'm not actually too bothered by it. To be honest, makes it
Yeah,
quick to work. I guess if it's a water based thing, right? I think.
it is. Now you have an option, and it's not an option you may like, but this is what I do with it. So you know how it uses cartridges. In fact, that kind of pen only uses cartridges. They don't
It
make
does.
the
I actually have more like available. That's good.
right. So
On
which
hand.
is cool. So what
Uh-huh.
I do is this is the ink that I like to use. It's called Diatramentis Document Black, and it's completely waterproof, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I basically used the Muji pen until one of the cartridges was empty, and then I take the cartridges out and a little tiny syringe, and then I hand fill the cartridge back up with the other ink.
Mm-hmm.
and that seems to kind of work. So it's like that's the best of both worlds. You still get to use the cartridge pen, and then you also get your choice of the ink on there.
That's cool. I'm just scared of needles. That's all.
Fair enough. It's a
Um.
blunt needle. I mean, it's they actually sell it on the pen website,
Uh-huh.
but you're right. It is a little scary. It looks like, especially because when I'm about to do the filling operation, it looks like I'm about to go do drugs or something because I have to get all the I have to prep
Yeah.
I'm putting like the paper towel down. I've got my instruments, and I'm like, make sure my hands are nice and washed. And I'm like, okay, nobody breathe while I do this.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what is he gonna do? Oh, he's just refilling the ink cartridge.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. I
I'm about
just
to ruin this.
I'm glad it has like the yeah, like I have the cartridges that fit at least. I kind of did that thing where I burnt the nip a little bit, but it's more that's more for like the stuff that protects it, like the coat on other little nibs.
It shouldn't happen on the fountain pen.
No.
If you get into it and you like that, I've got a great suggestion for you. I don't know if you can find those where you are, but I hope you can. This is a pen called a Tachikama Line Marker AI. I think it's called. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, this is an actual manga comic maker's pen. And it comes in 3 sizes, 0.5, 0.3, and 0.1, and it has the pen in there. And it's the same deal. It's got the proprietary cartridge. Let me take it apart. And this is the cartridge size. And I hand fill the cartridges on these two.
Yeah.
So, just so that they're waterproof. I don't know if they were originally waterproof. They have them on jet pens. I don't know if you probably got something similar in Australia.
Could you like post a link to it? Maybe
yeah, I'll definitely post a link to it.
Neat.
Maybe you can. Maybe there's even like I'm hoping that there'll be like maybe a YouTube demo of it or something like that, because it's what it does is, to me, kind of unique. And so, like for Galactus, when I did the Galactus piece, I used the Tachikama a lot, and it worked out great. So it's kind of like the same as a nib pen. It has a little bit of flex, and it's still a fountain pen. You don't want to flex it too much, though, just because even if you do have flex, I've got a my very favorite, my Noodler. I think it's a Noodler. I think it's called a Noodler Apache. It's a flex pen, but it's my second one, because the first one I ruined because I'm like, this is a flex pen. I'll flex all over the place. And you flex, of course, by pressing it down, and it spreads the tines out a little bit to create the variations in line weight. And if you go too far, you'll bend them, and they won't bend back, and then that could be a problem. The Muji does not do that, but it has a very nice expressive nib if you turn it. Do you ever watch Peter Draws?
Peter Draws, nope.
Okay, so there's a YouTube channel called Peter Draws, and he draws like really weird. They're sort of abstract pen and ink.
I've seen kind of his abstract, a couple of abstract pen drawing videos. Like
for a couple of years, his favorite pen is that Muji that you have was the aluminum one.
Yeah, nice.
And now he's into like he actually has a sponsorship where they make the Peter Draws pen. So now he doesn't use the Muji anymore. but he had already kind of given up on the Muji by the time that sponsorship came out. So I can't remember what he switched to later on.
Neat.
I think it's a cool pen. It didn't cost too much either. It's like, that's my range too. About $20. That's how much I'll spend on an art supply if I'm going to use it a lot. I'm kind of cheap, so it's got to be something with reuse. You're going to use it a lot. You're going to love it. It's going to be your go-to. $20, I could handle it.
I'm out of brown again.
Oh, I see you're mixing the paint.
Mm.
I found this this one artist from the early 1900s, Frank Pape, P-A-P-E.
Mm.
And I've just been like searching out all the stuff that he did. He was just like a book illustrator,
Mm-hmm.
and I love everything he did. So this dragon is kind of based on something he did. It's a little bit different. So it's got this knight that's falling over backwards. He's like falling off.
Mm-hmm.
And this dragon thing, it's almost more like a gargoyle than a dragon.
Yeah, it's some weird kind of antennas.
Yeah, they're like little like giraffe horns almost, like they got little
Oh, okay.
little
Oh, yeah.
balls.
I like giraffes.
Oh, I love giraffes. I love an okapi,
Copy.
which is like a forest giraffe, I believe is what they're sometimes called.
There are weird, like, versions of that where there's a small version of like a more well-known like animal, like the bonobo, the chimpanzees.
Mm-hmm.
There was a hippo, pygmy hippos.
I didn't know there was a pygmy hippo.
I think there was.
That's pretty cool.
What else? Well known. What's a famous one? Weird versions of deer, like the dik-dik or the
Oh, I love the dik-dik. That's a isolate that. Play back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The deer.
But that's a cool looking little creature. And there's this weird deer they have in China that has these big fangs. It looks like it's carnivorous.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really like part of its like antlers that grow through its jaw somehow.
Are tapirs like elephants? Probably. I mean, they have like
no,
they're
like they are kind of, but they're like pigs, I think. Or I thought they were like pigs. Maybe you're right. I don't know.
They have the tapir's more like they have a trunk kind of snoutish. But like I've seen them in real life. They're pretty cool. I've seen them bathe in like water and they eat stuff with their little snout.
Have you seen them in the wild? Is what you're saying? You've like
I've seen them at a zoo. No, they're like a zoo. They're just very big. They like to sleep. But they eat with their snout, kind of. What family or genus are they in? They're in.
I thought tapirs were a type of like pig, like a wild boar, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I only know because like if you and I haven't been able to find this game, Zoo Tycoon. I haven't not been able to find Zoo Tycoon like on one of those retro game sites, but I used to play that all the time.
I played that. Well, I remember the first time I played that on a laptop, like a really old laptop. It was bulky.
It was an old game, but I used to like that was the first animal you got was the tapir exhibit. I think it was like in the demo or something, or in the like in the training level or something. Drop the tapirs into the enclosure that you just made.
So, giraffe and okapi. It is a forest giraffe. Congolese giraffe or zebra giraffe. What is Arachnidactyl?
Yeah, they're real cool. They have they have these weird stripes. If you look at a baby okapi, they're really interesting too because they have these big knobby knees.
They're like the lesser known cousin of giraffes, you know. So, our Artiodactyl. Typically, they're ungulates. I think I know that, which bear weight equally on 2 of their 5 toes. And then you have like horses that have like that one hoof, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
I was gonna have a band. I was gonna call it Precious Ungulates because it's like the deer.
Uh-huh. I
That
like
was
that.
my joke.
Ungulate.
The Precious Ungulates.
Elephant-based dragon? It would this like the flame would come out its snout. Definitely. That would be awesome.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah, it'd be like a flamethrower, or
Mhm.
you would have. There's a really cool Dentu 2. Look up the Loxodont. Look up. Let's see if I can do it. The
What is this guy?
Loxodont.
No, this guy looks like a deer. This guy looks like a mouse deer. This one, I'll show you it. It's like it's part of the Artiodactyl species. Oh, is this the dick? I'll show you. I found the deer with the fangs.
Oh yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And of course, if it has fangs, like I think the Chinese actually thought that that it was like a vampiric deer or something like that in ancient times.
Yeah.
The water deer, native to Korea and China.
Even
They look really cool. I think.
Oh, mouse deer. That makes sense. Oh my goodness. This little dude.
Look up a mouse deer.
Pygmy hippo.
Chevrotane. Mouse deer. Oh wow, they are really weird looking.
They look like a mouse, like on a body of a deer. Oh my goodness. Even-toed
Greater mouse
ungulate.
deer. All right, I gotta share. Let me share screen here.
Hold on.
Present. Share.
I wonder if mouse deer. You should see a reindeer when it sheds its fur during like. That looks.
Oh, were they real bloody?
Yeah, that looks like an AI came up with that animal.
Yeah, that does not look real to me at all. That looks like somebody messed up. Like an AI, like somebody told the AI to like draw a deer, and then it just drew something weird.
I wish Getty Images would chill with its pricing a little.
Look at that, $500. I need this picture.
Chill out.
I gotta
But
have it.
let's look at funny deer.
It looks like a weasel with like long legs, like these. This leg does not look real right here. That's weird.
That looks like someone bred it for its coat, like kind of. Like it kind of has fox-like features.
Yeah.
In a way.
Or kind of like a weasel.
That one's licking its face is funny.
There we go.
What even going on?
What is going on?
That's how it holds up its hand in class. Only its tongue.
All right, I'm gonna look up the Loxodont for Dentu 2's sake here. That'll work. Loxodont. It's a D&D monster, basically. Is it not working? Stop sharing.
I see in a Minecraft. Oh wait, it's his elephanty thing.
Yeah, it's like he was asking about. Oh, it says having teeth like those of the genus Loxodon. Well, hold on, let me fix this.
It's okay.
La 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 la. Oh, these are like elephant humanoids. Well, okay, hang on. Let me just show you what I'm seeing.
One story character.
Share your screen. It's more like Loxodont. These people are such perverts. It's like, oh, I got this great idea. How about
Whoa.
we make a humanoid elephant? And somebody's like, that's a great idea. Here's how I draw that.
Hey,
And there
I don't
she
think I got
is.
paid. I hope the artists got
Hello.
paid. Anyway.
Hello.
Um.
All right, let me just stop sharing. This is too much.
There's the Super Mario RPG coming out soon, and I think we can make Mario into an elephant. Apparently,
Oh, that's kind of
seen
new.
that a lot.
I remember when we first got, what was it called? The game where Mario would put on the little suit and he could become the Tanuki.
Yeah, I like that one.
That was a
I
cool one.
I played Super Mario 3D World, and he has like, I think you can when you dress up as the cat, you can have he gets to climb up stuff, and
That's kind of fun.
Tanuki has a glide ability. Yeah. Shake it. All right.
Super Mario 3, the one where he's in like Dreamland and he fights the Shy Guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was totally into that game. I actually beat that one a couple of times. That was a favorite around my house.
Cool.
My mom was crazy about all the Nintendo games. She liked all of them. She was really into Link, like the original and the first two. She liked the first two. She liked Legend of Zelda, and then she liked Legend of Zelda 2, where it's in side view.
Mm-hmm.
She was really into those. She was a surprisingly cool mom. I mean, she's a very traditional person, but
She sounded like
she had the old school Nintendo, and
most people pan Nintendo.
yeah. Well, she's in her 80s now, but nobody's seen this Nintendo for years and years, and so my sister got her one of those retro systems that you can plug in and it has everything. And but she couldn't figure out how to plug it in, so then they went over there and plugged it in, set it up for her. She still hasn't touched it. I guess you really can just kind of outgrow stuff like that. I don't know. Hope that never happens to me. Kind of already has happened. I don't play much video games anymore. I wish I.
I like.
They just did a. Go ahead.
I like to play them socially sometimes, but you know.
I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, I mean, so I've been playing off and on. The last time I played, it was right before I went in to get my wisdom teeth taken out. I was playing Guild Wars 2.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this might be my last, my last moments before. So I went in and I was up too early, and you can't go to the surgery place, too early. So I was like, oh, I got to kill some time. But I haven't touched it since then. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll turn it back on. I just saw today. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever played Dungeon Keeper.
Nope.
That's a pretty fun game. And they just released today, the fan community has released this new port of it where it, allows it to work on new systems. And I think it's free, but I'm not 100% sure. I used to love Dungeon Keeper. That was a cool game. That's the one where it's like the reverse dungeon crawl. You have the you have the dungeon heart, and then you build all the traps and the rooms and stuff, and you wait for the adventurers to come in so you can kill them. And basically it's got elements of tower defense almost, but it's also got the Sims and resource management games and all that stuff. It's kind of all together in this one package to create a dungeon, which I thought was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what Mr. Dragon here is going to do. I think if I just black out his underside.
Why is there a Minecraft ally? Ellie.
The LA, yeah, that's new. I don't know if you even know about that one, unless have you been playing Microsoft?
No, I'm not. Well,
So the
I haven't
LA,
been playing it lately.
it's like this new mob that they created, and you can tame it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can like give it tasks and stuff, right? Isn't that right? Or is Din22? Do you know? I mean, I don't know. I haven't played Microsoft. I mean, I haven't played
Is that a
Minecraft
patch?
yet either.
It's like a new patch.
Oh, they've been patching Minecraft like mad. They've got so many new things going on with it. There's frogs, fireflies. They have
Sweet.
I think penguins in the
Mm-hmm.
new mod. It's not a mod, it's the latest version. It's the official version. They just released cherry trees, and the cherry trees kind of drop cherry blossoms, so you can make like a cherry grove.
Mm-hmm.
It's been pretty insane with the Minecraft. I don't have the patience anymore, though. I mean, I used to really love it. I used to really get into it, but
I like it as a chill kind of game, like just hanging out.
yeah,
Building, digging into the into the procedurally generated map, and
oh, I love that too. I like because it's sometimes it's just really stunningly beautiful. You'll like blunder into this cave, and you'll be like, "Wow, this is really interesting looking." There'd be a a cascading waterfall or something.
oops.
I've always enjoyed that. All right, let's do some wings here.
Probably a sketch for the rest of the screen.
I like that pose. She looks like a Power Ranger.
Yeah, she is. Well, I borrowed the pose, and I'm just using the familiar iconography. I know, or just
I would really like to do a Sentai type comic. I mean, I made an attempt and it wasn't very good. I did the Mystery Force, which is the one I did in the manga book. But they were more based on like Cyborg 09, which is pre Sentai.
I remember Cyborg 009. I watched the anime of it. Watched the pilot episode. I like the different cyborgs.
They are cool. They are really neat. Yeah, I like so the guy who created Cyborg 009 is Ishinomori, right? So he same guy who created Skullman and also this Super Sentai, the Die Ranger, not the Die Rangers, Go Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And also he did the Link, the very first Link manga.
I think I own one of those. I have a not Majora's Mask. It's one of the mangas. I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, it's now his is probably before Majora's Mask because I think he died like in 1989 or something.
Okay.
But and Kamen Rider, he did Kamen Rider.
Neat. I have a Kamen Rider figure.
I like Kamen Rider a lot. I think that's cool. Yeah. Kamen Rider is the groovy.
I met the actor David Hayter at like Supernova once. He's a really cool guy. David Hayter, he was the voice of Snake, like Solid Snake, but also he played Guyver when it was a television show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's kind of that same vein of the costume Beetle Man.
Yeah. I remember seeing when I don't know if it ever came out, but like in the 80s, I remember getting like a science fiction magazine and they had a full picture of the guy in the Guyver costume with the helmet. and stuff, and we're like, this show is going to be awesome, but we never got to see it. Like, I don't know if it ever came to the US or if we just, we didn't know where it was. I mean, this is before internet, so like if you didn't find it on your own, it may as well never happen. But we were all like, look at this, I think it was like a copy of Starlog or something,
Mm-hmm.
which was this sci-fi fandom magazine that we used to get.
Hey, question for the chess thing, the chess thing I'm working on. Do you think what was his name before? Let's check him out. The summoner, what's his name? Obrax. Do you think he would be a good a good bishop kind of character alongside?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's got the hat for it almost. He's got a turban, so it would probably work really well into a design for a bishop type character.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a
It'd probably just be a boss character because I'm not gonna do each one as its own separate armature.
Well, it'd
That'd
probably
be
be really
more-
pain if you did. Yeah, that would be a little
Well,
crazy.
that would be the king and queens are probably gonna have armatures, and the further down the ranks it'll be simpler boss mostly. Some are a bit more. Some shapes are a bit more random, like you've seen with the fist and all that.
Yeah.
I was going to include the muck as a rook as well. I think that would make a good shape, and it's more grounded kind of, and have that.
Yeah.
And have the
little skull thing on the top.
a skull thing that kind of rots, but also goes into the ground with roots, sort of. And I think for the kings, I think there were two versions of the kings. Would be Unga Bunga and Starlock would just be figures on themselves. And the queens would be Agent Tulip from the Christmas anthology.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah. Well, you gotta make Debbie a queen for sure. Is that
I think no, I like her to be a knight, kind of.
She would be a good knight, yeah.
Rabbit Fighter and Debbie as knights would be good.
That would be pretty cool.
Because I'm thinking of the same poses they're going to be in. They're going to be in the same, a similar pose to each other. Also, her design is a bit complex, and I know because I designed her. Mm-hmm. We both haven't played Minecraft a lot, didn't you? But that's interesting. Poisonous to frogs.
I did not know that he took the fireflies out. I thought they were cool. They were just I thought they were like a visual, just a sprite that they would show in the swamp areas. I didn't realize they were actually a creature.
Feed a parrot cookies as an international game design.
Intentional. Yeah.
Intentional. Oh, sorry, I said international. Never mind.
That's all right. But they die when you feed them cookies. I didn't know that.
Probably die in real life because of that.
Because you would think Polly want a cracker, they would probably want a cookie.
I probably they probably have a strict diet of just fruits and seeds and whatnot.
Yeah, in the game you have to give them seeds. At least I think that's what it is.
I heard you shouldn't give bread to ducks. I've heard that.
They love it. So
it swells in their body, It
makes them more delicious when you have to eat them.
Oh, that's yeah. Remember you've heard what's that when they make the
foie
geese
gras
liver fat?
Yeah.
When they make the geese liver fat, I think it's something else. Is it foie gras? Yeah, probably.
Foie gras.
Yeah, and I've seen them force feed them seeds and oh Jesus.
Oh, but they love it.
Mm-hmm. They love the seeds, yeah. Or else.
Cool.
They love it, or else. Anyway,
you should read there's this book called The Magicians. There was a show actually called The Magicians too. Same thing. It's based on the book
Mm-hmm.
by I can't remember the guy's name. Austin Grossman is the guy who wrote Soon I'll Be Invincible. It's his twin brother, Terry Grossman, I think, who wrote the other one. But there's a whole sequence where they have to turn into geese
Mm-hmm.
to go fly somewhere because they're in this mages guild, and there's a bit about that. I think I seem to remember something like that. It's a really good book. Actually, it's 3 really good books. There's 3 of them. The Magicians. The TV show was terrible.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Was it like a BBC production thing, or?
Yeah, it was like your typical Netflix style, adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it was almost like it was a different thing, but it was meant to be the same thing. But they tried to make the characters all like how do I describe it? The characters are kind of lame in this book, right? So here's the premise of The Magicians. If you can imagine a American version of Hogwarts, except they're not high school, but more like a college, right? And then also there's some really dark secrets in the school, and some characters are getting killed, and there's real demons. And then one of the characters figures out a way to open up a portal to what's basically Narnia. It's right. And
okay, dokie.
And then after they get out of college, they don't know what to do with themselves because they're real magicians. So they don't have to work anymore at regular jobs. So they all basically become criminals, because they can
That's
just
the most realistic thing about that show. You don't know what you do when you get out of college.
Yeah. They get out and they're like, well, I could just invent money with a spell. So I can just do it. So they're all bored. And so they're always like just getting drunk and stuff. And then they just start figuring out a way to rob places using their magic. And I don't know. It's pretty interesting. It's a whole series. Well, there's 3 books. I had to reread that. I haven't read that in a while. I'm rereading right now, like H.P. Lovecraft, The Dream Cycle. I'm reading that, and that's really good. I didn't realize all of H.P. Lovecraft is like public domain at this point, and it's all pretty darn cheap. Like you can get it for free if you wanted to. I paid 69 cents for the collected works on Kindle, so I'm going through and I'm just picking out the Dream Cycle ones to just read those. I wonder if they're really public domain.
I enjoyed In the Mouth of Badness. I like It was feels like a lesser known John Carpenter film because I didn't know he like worked on it. But then the soundtrack kicked in and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. This makes sense. But otherwise I liked Sam Neill in it. I think he gave a good a very good performance in it. I was going in thinking it was like going to be more subtle, the different changes than more as I went along, and more supernatural stuff started to happen. I was into something. But I think it was mostly pretty good. I don't have much complaint about it. Have you seen it before?
I don't think I've seen that one. No.
Mouth of Venus. I've seen the Abominable Mr. Fives also recently. It was that was crazy. That was in 1971, and like Vincent Price looked old then.
Yeah.
He was kind of at his peak, to be fair, but which I don't know if that's his peak or more so the thriller video, like the thriller narration.
I remember when I first went to college and we were watching that in the dorm room, and we had the crazy idea to there's like a band in that thing called Dr. Phoebes or Fibes Clockwork Wizards. And it might be the second one that has Dr. Five's Clockwork Wizards. But we thought that was such a cool name. But I remember we made like a sign and put it on the dorm wall, like the home of Dr. Five's Clockwork Wizards.
It's mentioned as a horror comedy. I mean,
yeah, his wife gets killed, or what happens to her?
Yeah,
and then he
by nine doctors who are working like together to try to save her life, and I think things went wrong and she died. And then he sought vengeance, and he's like this he's just like this Phantom of the Opera character almost.
Yeah,
It feels like though.
I think that's exactly how I remember it.
Deliberately campy, it says. There's a description that says deliberately campy. I don't know if it was that campy, though. He had a speaking role, but he didn't really have the larynx. He didn't function larynx as the character was playing, which is funny, to think about. But, because he could still recite his lines. I wonder. I thought the murders he orchestrated with clever. He definitely is kind of mastermind in that field. Even though he has this weird mansion with all this.
He's traps and all kinds of weird
yeah. And all the detectives are just clueless. I'm like, where the heck? How did this all line up? They're all British, a detective.
Abominable Dr. Fibes or Phoebes. Phoebes? Fibes.
Multiple characters pronounced differently, so. The detective on the case is called Trout. That's funny.
Have you ever seen Carry On Screaming?
No.
So this is kind of a UK movie. They had a whole series of movies called Carry On. The first one was called Carry On Sergeants or something like that. I can't remember. It was like a military movie. They made a sequel and it was like Carry On, Island or something. Well, anyways, they eventually made a horror one called Carry On Screaming, and it's ultra stupid, and it's probably the best of the series.
Oh, now I know where that name Carry On Streaming. You heard of
Carry On Streaming.
Yeah, the guy who did who's in Confiscate is British.
Commie Mark.
Yeah, that's where it got
from.
Okay.
That's where you got it from.
That sounds like a British saying carry on.
Carry on something.
Yeah. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, one of the doctors actually, I thought he was Anthony Hopkins at first. The guy who gets his blood taken out of him. I thought that was Anthony Hopkins in that role. But no.
Really?
It might have been way too early for him. Who knows?
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been the 70s, I think, or the 60s.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. I mean, it was a campy movie. It's kind of like Batman. If you remember the Batman series they had in the 60s.
Adam West Batman.
The Adam West Batman, yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Fibes to me reminds me of that era for some reason.
It's funny to think his character Vincent Price's character had ruptured vocal cords, but he's still written in a way that'll give him cool lines. In a way, he mastered acoustics in order to repair his throat.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's funny. It's but he's actually he is more this Phantom of the Opera character, he's disfigured. I guess he has more reason to be vengeful. because these doctors. One of them's like a shrink, actually, or a psychiatrist, whatever you. But he has this brutal death where he has this, like, he's at a masquerade ball and he gets given this frog mask, and it's actually, he has a contraption, like, it has this mechanism that tightens around the head, and so it nearly crushes him to death. Hold on.
Perfect.
And it reminded me of this meme. I'll show you. Well, floor. 1 second. He's like being strangled or crushed to death by this contraption on his head, and then he's just lying dead. And hold on, I'll show you it.
Take
It
your time,
reminded,
got
and when he was just lying dead, it reminds me of this meme. Hold on, go on, Gilded.
Go ahead.
Guild is taking time.
Are you posting it to Gilded?
Yeah, I'm posting it. It's uploading. It's right. It's taking its time.
No
actually-
problem. No rush. The abominable Dr. Phoebes.
Maybe I'll try again.
Gilded is a little bit unreliable with just even pasting stuff in. It's kind of annoying.
It reminded me of that meme. Ugh.
All right, let me see it. I see it. Something popped in for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let us see. Oh, not the one with the frog falling over. I see you posted. Okay, is it the frog falling over with the stuff in the shadow? No, it can't be that.
No. Yeah, that's him. That's what reminded me of, like, murders. I was like, murders. Like, and he burns his face off every time, like he does murd, like his wax figurines.
Yes.
I'll post a clip of it probably. Oh, that's a trailer.
Right,
Never mind.
Dinty 2, I'm just looking at the it's Dinty 2's character design. He's like, this character is a doctor. So Dinty 2 is saying, I'm trying to invent a sport where a man with a battle axe is chasing you, but instead of it being scary, it would be ironically funny. I'm not sure if it'd be safe in the Olympics. Probably not, although they do hurl javelins in the Olympics.
121. Okay. Okay, maybe.
If they can hurl javelins. Oh, come on, what's happening here?
Okay, so I'll share this from that one. That's the.
All right, let me switch back. Something popped in. Hang on. There it is. The Abominable Dr. Five's kill count. Hang on. Actually, let me open up it on YouTube. We're going to have to play it. We'll actually play it. Hang on.
It's all right. You can mute the audio in my name.
No, it's good. We're going to do a reaction video here because... Hold on one moment.
You can see side by side.
Side by side, so you can experience it. Hang on. Where are we? Am I still here? Oh wait, hold on.
In StreamYards.
Okay. I'm still in the stream. Oh, okay, there it is. I'm going to move this here. I'm going to present my screen. Okay, here it is. Hopefully it'll play. Kill!
Sweeto uses fruit bats.
One.
Sweeto used fruit bats for that murder. And this is this one. The screen goes red. And then you just like
Okay.
pause like that. That's what it
I'm
reminds me
freezing
of.
that one. Okay, hold on. I got the meme because you just posted this too. All right, hold on. All right, wait. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
Take your time.
The Abominable Dr. Phoebes. My problem is I keep losing where the there it is, StreamYard is. Okay. Present, stop screen. Present. Share screen. And it is there. So, this is the guy after he fell down the stairs.
Cinematic parallels.
Yeah, is there? Oh, it's great. Okay, hang on. We're gonna stop screen again. Whoops. Stop screen. All right, let's go back to. We got that was only a kill count of 2. There's more. Share screen. There it is. That's a cool looking frog mask, though, too.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, boy.
amazing.
There's Discount Anthony Hopkins.
Wait, how did he kill him?
He like drained his blood
Oh, okay.
and put him into bottles. There's like 10 bottles at the end of it.
Frozen to death.
So they each represent like a I think they represent the different plagues of Egypt. Exactly. Oh, this was. He
What
like
happened there?
boiled some like cabbages and made it into a paste, and then fed it to locusts. That's acid. That's a saw trap he just made.
Yeah.
Like, he made the doctor operate on his own son under like a vat of acid that was timed to like drip on him if he didn't remove the key from his heart. Like,
oh yes, I remember that scene. Yeah,
Mhm.
I totally remember that. Yeah.
that was like a it almost feels like a sword style trap. Like,
Yeah. Like a total
will
death
die.
trap.
Make your choice.
Right, wait. Okay,
Turn
that's
that
8.
He would have made a good sword. And then just himself, with his already dead wife, he embalms himself.
Ta-da.
Yeah.
All right, very cool.
There you go.
Let me stop screen. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, when he embalms himself, he encases like his himself and his wife, like, so in a way that like the walls go down and into the floor, and then the like detectives like come in, like, where the heck did he go? He kind of gotten away in the end, to the very end.
There's a sequel. There's a second one.
I
think it's called Dr. Phoebes Returns.
Oh yeah.
Or something like that, and it's even weirder.
Well, that's weird.
When I first went to college, we used to somebody had a VCR. It wasn't me, but we would stay up and watch movies all night.
Mm-hmm.
And that was
You're right.
The Dr. Phoebes ones were very popular.
Oh God. Leading to a trap across Egypt. So each of the deaths represents different like plague of Egypt, like a. I know they call plagues. One of them's like a locust, and lots of frogs. They kind of represent that, which I thought was cool. Of course, you can't make like hail everywhere, so he'll bring like this contraption that'll blast like liquid nitrogen into the car. He's really a big mastermind.
I love
I
stuff.
wonder if he's the inspiration for Saw. When you think about it.
Maybe partially, right? I mean, it's kind of within the genre of.
Yeah, because Saw also had loyal followers to it.
Like, I was surprised that Saw took off like it did. It became super popular almost as soon as it came out, and it's otherwise, that genre had kind of disappeared of the horror movie. Mm-hmm. Like when Drag Me to Hell came out, I had not seen a horror movie in a long time. And then Drag Me to Hell came out, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of like what we used to have, actual horror movies. I don't know. Did you see Drag Me to Hell?
Oh yeah.
I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that in the theater when it came out. With the really gross corpse lady that kisses him. It was so gross.
Ew. I watched the Evil Dead original movies, but I haven't seen the newer ones that are more remakes.
Oh, I wouldn't watch the remakes. Yeah, I love Evil Dead 2 because it's basically the same as Evil Dead 1, just with a budget.
Yeah.
And I like Army of Darkness and what else did he do besides Army of Darkness, Evil Dead? There's a third one that I've forgotten. I even like Cabin in the Woods. I remember showing my son Cabin in the Woods. I'm like, you're gonna like this movie.
That's Joss Whedon movie.
Yeah, it is. But it's so great. That's a perfect movie too.
Yeah.
It's got Chris, what's his name in it?
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. He's great in it.
Right around when Avengers first came out, I think that really shot up shot him to fame. Because Thor wasn't like the first Thor was like okay, but then the sequel was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a nothing movie. It was like, the Marvel movies were always nothing movies until, well, maybe that's not so true. I got to think about it. There's a bunch of crappy Marvel movies like that came out first. And the only ones that took off were Blade. Like the Blade movies were huge. Yeah. But the Hulk movies, they did two of them that weren't any good. What are some of the other ones? Fantastic Four movie wasn't any good. Yeah.
Blade, yeah, the Blade movie I think launched the popularity of launch. I guess it gave more potential to the idea of superhero films, especially as a franchise, a Marvel franchise.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of like amazed when they put out the Black Panther movie and everybody's like, this is the first black superhero movie. I'm like, 2 years ago. I mean, it was like Blade was the only one that was a success. The rest of them were really not successful.
Was there a movie before Blade? Like Steel. I remember Steel. That was
Steel was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steel was terrible.
I like some of the characters in that one. I like some of the characters, like the wheelchair lady. Like I like that part about it.
Like the controversy over like they're saying, oh, the next Superman movie, they should have a black Superman. I'm like, what if I told you there was a black Superman movie and it had Shaquille O'Neal starring in it? And they're like, no, that never happened. But Steel is supposed to be a replacement for Superman. When they did the Death of Superman, he was one of the new Supermen that came out, and he even has the Superman symbol on his costume. Although I don't know if they kept it in the movie, but in the comics, he had the Superman symbol on his steel outfit, on his armor.
Oh yeah, I think I saw him like in an animated version of him once.
Yeah, he's in Justice League Unlimited for sure, and then he's in some of the other Like I can't keep up with all the movies that they put out these days, but
I definitely remember seeing him last time.
let's see. All right, you're not supposed to push a dip pen like that, but I did it. You're supposed to pull it.
Maybe I'll work on that.
I've got to figure out how to. Do another tree root over here. Now I'm running into the same problem as before. I'm afraid to put my hand in the ink. But I think what I might do is switch back to the cover now. I got pretty far.
Starlock kind of looks like reminds me of some Frazetta like paintings, kind of. Like his...
Yeah, he's meant to be sort of like a Conan-ish character, but he's really savage. He's got a little bit of Lobo to him. He's got a little bit of a I don't know, like he's got a lot of influences went into that character.
I can see a lot.
He's that's actually Prometheus's uncle is Starlock. Starlock and Stardust are brothers. Stardust being the Golden Age character, and then Prometheus is the nephew. And both Starlock and Stardust are both jerks. And then it's just kind of like, I'm gonna make a comic about an unlikable, kind of a jerk character, and that's what Starlock was meant to be.
So they're both Titans, Starlock and Stardust. Like
yes, yeah, they both are.
And
they're so. The backstory of it is that they're so powerful and stuff that they've both been exiled. They both have, in Starlock's case, he was stuck inside of a crystal and left on a planet guarded by these zombie creatures. And that's how I think it's Intergalactic. It might be the Cosmic Unknown one. That's the third or fourth anthology. I can't remember which. She rescues him, thinking it's like a piece of treasure because it's in a crystal, and then he comes out of it, and then he starts going after his revenge against the people that trapped him.
Oh yeah.
And then the second one he's in is he decides to go after. He goes on revenge against Astron, who's the guy that's chained to the rock that Prometheus used to be chained to. And but then he has mercy on him. He's like, "Oh, you didn't actually betray me. You basically suffered a similar fate that I did, except in a different way." Which he did. And I have a plan to put it all together at some point. Like everything will come together, and I've already got Rabbit Fighter and Iseult in the same place. But I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I don't think it's ready to go yet, but eventually.
I'm trying to invent a sport where a man with a battle axe is chasing you, but instead of being scary, it would be ironically funny. Safe to be in the Olympics.
Do you watch Yoshi's Castle there, Den22? Or do you know what Yoshi's Castle is?
That's it. That name rings a bell, but I'm not sure.
So it was like it was a Japanese game show, but it was a Japanese game show where people would actually.
Oh, Takaki's Castle.
Takashi's Castle, yes, that's it right
Yeah.
there. I don't know why I said Yoshi's Castle, but there was one of the events was one where like they have to run through a maze, and there is a huge like 7-foot tall dude dressed as a demon and armed with like a foam battle axe that would try and hit you and knock you into the water as you ran through this maze. The maze was like these rooms that were all like one door would open up into another little tiny room with one door or several doors. I guess that's almost like a sport.
So it's like a game show type sport. I only know the show from Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Yes,
It's basically the dub. It's like an English like abridged version of it. That's it's the abridged like parody version of Takashi's Castle, and they just say really politically incorrect jokes on top of it.
I totally remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, my girlfriend watched all of those. She really loved those. She thought those were the greatest.
I watched a bit back in the day, like with it was on cable. I remember that.
Featuring Baba Ganoush. There was always a character named Baba Ganoush on there. Like it would be a different guy every time, but they always said, and here's Baba Ganoush.
I
don't know if I'm going to ruin this Aquaman or not. I better not. All right, not bad, not bad. I do have a feeling my teacher's going to roast me over this. He's going to go, what were you thinking on this? On that Aquaman? If another inking class gets on the schedule, I think I might end up taking it. Or I might just like do a self study of inking. Like actually go out and find blue lines and ink them. Or maybe I could just, I don't know. I haven't done a lot of inking or traditional inking anyways. And maybe it's time to really knuckle down and figure it out. I do kind of enjoy it. All right. Otherwise, this will just be a portfolio piece. Do you have a portfolio? I actually have like a. It's like a binder notebook, like one of those as clips. Like the 3-ring binder.
Mm-hmm.
And it has It's 17 by 11, so it opens up so it'll fit something as big as this whole piece of paper in there.
The original chapter 2 pages. The original. I got them in a like an envelope type thing. I hope that helps protect it, I guess.
That's what I used to do. I used to get like they have those big. They're kind of like a red cardboard envelope, but they're gigantic. That's what I used to have. I think I still have one downstairs. I'll have to go check. But I started moving everything into this binder thing, and I'm hoping to. I know that they like at comic conventions, the big ones, anyways. They actually do portfolio reviews occasionally, where some artists will look at it and go, "Okay, here's what I think, kid. You're terrible." I'm so ready for it. Don't quit your day job. That's what they'll tell me. But I'm all right. I'm enjoying making comics. I haven't. There was a time, I think, when I was like, oh, one day, maybe I'd like to be a comic artist. Man, that day is gone. I do not want to be a legit employed comic artist. I think it's probably a death sentence. Nobody I know who does it is very happy or very well employed. Like, they're not making any money at it. They've all got to have like extra jobs and stuff. But I do like doing it. I don't know. I'm doing okay at it, I guess, making my own stuff and being employed as a researcher, which is what I do.
I'd probably like to look into other jobs, but hope my employer's not watching this. But I hope. By the way, I'm just joking around. How you doing? But no, I'm probably looking to somewhere that probably have less hours. Maybe it'll be a thing over the summer. I work on probably applications like that.
Yeah, if they take away all your time and stuff, that could be kind of annoying. But you still get a lot done, even with working full time, and I'm working full time, and I feel like I get a lot of stuff done. But this is all I do. I don't watch TV or anything. Yeah. I can hear the TV in the other room because it's my girlfriend doing it. But
do you have like Netflix subscriptions or stuff like that, or?
Oh,
she would probably take it up though.
Yeah, she's got something because she's watching. The thing that she likes right now is the antiquing shows. There's one called Pickers where they buy like old antique stuff.
Bargain hunting. Yeah, I remember that show. Bargain hunting.
And it's always like, here's an antique car, and here's a old sign.
Antiques
and they just love it. Antiques Roadshow was one of them. Yeah.
Have you ever seen like the PAWN stars, porn stars, like that show that's just about guys selling at a pawnbroker place, and sometimes they get like Civil War like memorabilia.
Yeah,
and they get an expert to check if it's fake or not.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I got some bad news. So this letter, it's actually a forgery. I know it's been in your family for centuries, but
I think one guy got like the original publication of Winnie the Pooh, and the very first, one of the very first editions, and he kind of got an offer for it, but it wasn't really what he wanted. He way too I think he sorry, I'm losing my my like grasp of the appropriate expressions, but he had too high a price. Cool. I
His
suppose.
expectation was too high. Yeah.
I guess he got a fair amount, but not what he expected. He was a bit displeased by that. But other times there was like a full I guess a mannequin with this Civil War garb that's very but then again, depending on who they bring out on as experts and you know what they say about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know. They'll you know, they'll get interesting results nonetheless. Sometimes they won't leave with any money at all. They won't make any offers, and that's just that. Is what it is. Which is really interesting. They're like one of the more famous ones in Las Vegas or something like that. Probably more famous because of the TV show.
I have seen the one with the Las Vegas. Yeah, that's okay. That's Pawn Stars. Mm-hmm. Best I can do. Best I can do is World War III. They have all the memes over there. So it's like the Pawn Stars. And then they'll have the meme of like it's usually some disappointing offer that you didn't really want. And there was one I saw recently, and as I'm saying, I can't remember. It's like who it's on there, but he's saying best I can do is World War III because of the all the conflicts going on right now.
The third war to end all wars.
And there'll never be war again.
If you get the 20th war, you get free sub. What if you just bring a bubblegum sculpture of an ancient vase into an antique show?
Presumably, they would be able to tell 1022.
I imagine. I think the signature is fake. That's just a hunch, you know. Bring it on. I happen to be an expert in these things, you know.
What is a bubblegum? What do you mean a bubblegum sculpture of an ancient vase? A bubblegum sculpture?
I guess if you had to fake it, like harden, you had to chew enough bubblegum and harden it into a shape of, because it actually does harden. You know, like when it's dried up. I noticed this on like bus trips, unfortunately, but yeah, I wouldn't know. I guess I imagine it'd be pretty if they use individual pieces of it, it would be like very easy to spot.
Have you seen Sora the Troll?
Do you know Sora the Troll? No.
So he's a Japanese streamer who has really good English, and his favorite thing to do is basically do like English or American stuff and Japanese stuff, like comparisons and things like that. And the joke is he speaks such good English that Japanese people consider him American. And he actually did visit America, but he was doing like this comparison thing, and it's really funny. He's like, things I found out about America, and one of it, he's like, he puts his hands under the table at like a restaurant, and they're like, don't do that. There will be bubble gum. It'll be filthy.
I thought he's just like, it looks like you have a gun under there. I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. He did a bunch of live streams about the Johnny, what's his name? Johnny Somali, the stupid guy that got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has like a bunch of streams about he's like, this is driving Japan crazy. No nut November.
Okay.
Which I thought that was funny too. I don't know.
What's going on here? Oh.
No, here's what it was. No natto November. And he goes, it's about natto. Natto is like some kind of weird fermented bean thing that they eat in Japan. So we don't understand how you could do this. Everybody likes natto. Apparently it's really awful tasting. It's like Well, it'd be the like as far as like one of those inexplicable national dishes. It would be kind of like Australia's Vegemite.
Natto Japan. Wait, how's it spelled?
Natto.
Natto.
Yes.
Oh, that's that weird fermented soybean stuff, right?
Yeah.
I haven't. That might be interesting to try if I ever went.
I would try it. I would definitely try it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like kimchi. I like a lot of the fermented type of vegetable things that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
Pickles. I love kimchi.
Kimchi. I wonder if there's any dishes I've had. I've seen there's I've had like breakfast in a Japanese house where they gather around a grill and put things on it, like there'll be sausages.
Oh really?
Like they bake it on this big like grill that's just like a knee. Well, it's like ankle high, and you just cross your legs, just put stuff on it. And I've had that. I've had breakfast that way. You know those chefs that do all the like they throw the ingredients around and it's like a cool dish at the end.
Yeah.
But they have that grill. They have that giant like over like grill to work with.
The hibachi grill. I think it's like
hibachi grill. Possibly. It looks like that.
I want to watch some Japanese shows. Maybe I'll see if I can install.
This looks like a fry. Oh, this thing, yeah, hibachi steakhouse. I think we had that, but the smaller version of that. But
yeah, I think we had like one when I was growing up. We had one on the porch in the backyard.
Is it Japanese hibachi? Or
isn't it?
Probably. Yeah, I think so. I'm getting different picture results, but anyway. Oh.
Have you seen Paranoia Agent? This is a hibachi question.
No, it's an anime, right?
It's an anime, yeah. So in one episode of Paranoia Agent, it's really weird. It's an episode that's seemingly out of context with the rest of the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ghost story. And it starts with these a bunch of people that have met in a chat room and they're going to kill themselves. And the way they do it is they do it with a hibachi. They go into a room, they start the hibachi up, and they all inhale. And then at the end, there goes, nothing happened. And then they go on this weird adventure. It's really crazy. I think it's like the 4th episode of Paranoia Agent, but it is one of the creepiest episodes or shows I've ever seen, and that got me hooked because I was like, what is going on? Hibachi Agent, Paranoia Agent. I love Paranoia Agent. Mm-hmm. You would probably like Paranoia Agent because it's got a lot of the like cutesy stuff in it too. And then each episode, it does like this crazy thing. It's almost like Lost or something. It's mysterious. Every episode has a connection to the next episode, and you don't understand what the meta plot is until near the last few episodes. It starts to tie everything together, and you figure out how it's connected.
Oh, okay. Paranoia, yeah. Sashikon, right. I don't like when in a movie a criminal touches the evidence without gloves and now their fingerprints all over the place. Quite a few tropes I'm not a fan of in police stuff.
Police procedural.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost done with this stupid thing. I'm just gonna do the lightning.
Oh, there's a show I remember called Limitless. where they we couldn't find anything like at his place except this hard drive. Just hard drives. That's it. You know. Oh, you search it? No. They just They. You got any info of him? No, nothing. Just his hard drive. That's it. Yeah. This is hunk of metal. I don't know.
Ah. All right, we're getting here somewhere. I used to like to watch like there's all kinds of like Japanese shows that I really enjoy. Have you seen I think we even talked about this one time. What's that movie? Lone Shark. Somebody the Lone Shark. It's based on a manga, but it's really crazy. It's like a show with no good guys. The characters you think are the good guys are the bad guys.
Well, fair enough.
And it's about a loan shark because I guess they don't have like a really great credit card system, or they don't. Maybe it's not that it's not great. It's just that they don't really like to rely on those. So people will borrow money from the organized criminals.
Oh yeah, that's how Squid Game sort of starts. Like
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the very first episode, it starts out. It's like there's this guy. He's at a party. It's a rich party. You know, everyone's real fancy and everything. And then these thugs break in, and they're saying, you know, where is he? And then they threaten him, and then I think they end up beating him up or something. I can't remember. But you're like, who are these bad guys? But the bad guys that beat him up turn out to be the good guys because the character that you're sympathizing with that's getting beat up turns out to be like the real rat of the whole thing. You know, it's like this weird reverse morality.
I think it's like just POV character at that point. Like you don't know much about them, or
what's the first one? There's a serial killer. Yeah. Well, in the first one, I think there's end up being like the serial killer that goes against them too, which is kind of interesting.
Starlock flies, does he? He does, yeah.
All right, that might be. We're close to getting done here. If I get this done, I'm going to go post it to the classroom and celebrate myself. I've got so much ink on here now that there's nowhere I can put my hand down without getting ink on it. So I'm going to drop it for a while.
Pretty good. Well, I see.
Yeah, it came out pretty okay.
Ooh, the lightning bolt is nice. The lightning, I like that.
Yeah. I guess that's the flash lightning bolt. And I don't know if you can see he's running so fast his costume is shredding off of his glove, and then he's got the speed force, kind of the electrical speed force is coming off of him. And then in the background we've got these other four characters, and if you look at the buildings, there's actually the buildings are all like Bruce Wayne. This is a Wayne Sports and Casinos. This is a Wayne Tower. This one just says Wayne on it. This one has another Wayne building. So I guess that in this whatever reality of this Flashpoint comic, like Bruce Wayne is either a criminal, or this one says Wayne Casino, or he's a casino magnate of some kind where he's got a million casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have a place I can still do. I can ink in Andy Kubert's signature. We could do that. All right.
Oh my god.
I know that there's. I might be able to get this one in.
You have kids, right? Like
Yep.
is it kind of cool that they look a little like you in ways, or do you not get that sometimes?
They do look like me. Well, they do.
Mhm.
They are a lot like me in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Like they like a lot of the same stuff, which is kind of cool.
I saw
The younger
like
one especially looks like me.
I saw the show with Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, and I could definitely actually tell without not knowing that. I'm like, huh, it's really him. I could actually see that. I'm like, wow. Genetics.
The crazy thing about it is that the one that he had with the maid?
The one with he. Well, he was a character in it's called show. It's like a spin-off of The Boys called Gen V. And he's like, he plays this character who just he's like Johnny Storm, I guess. But yeah, that's played by his son. Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. I could definitely tell just by looking at him, I guess.
One of his Arnold Schwarzenegger, I guess, he had some kind of affair with the house.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I heard about that story. I'm not really sure.
Well, anyway, the son looks like exactly like him, which is really crazy. Mm-hmm. And he's really he's real buff too. He's got the bodybuilder's physique.
Oh, you mean the maid son that has? Well, then yeah. Then I would think that would be pretty obvious, but yeah, that's just kind of a neat thing. Genetics, you crazy.
This must be nice, I guess. You just buy a house, you hire a housekeeper, and then suddenly you're.
Only 11.
I guess she missed out on a big payoff, though.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Almost 12 o'clock here.
It is. We're on 7:56. You're right. We're almost done. Mm-hmm. And I think I've actually finished this. I've got some ink on me. Whoops. I think I have enough to post to the Classroom website. I better put a cap on this ink before I spill it. Where's the cap? No cap.
No.
The cap is missing. No cap. Oh, here it is. I found it.
On God.
Thanks so much for post. Let's wait a second. There we go. Duckling Star of the comic series.
At the start of the stream.
There it is.
Go, Mr. Mod.
Everyone, definitely check this out.
Mm-hmm.
We just finished a chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Are you diving right into the next chapter? Or are you holding off for a while? Or?
I'm holding off a little bit. I'm doing other stuff because I want to be in the synthology.
Sounds cool.
Where I can.
Yeah, it's time. The time is always a crunch, but there will always be more anthology. So it's cool.
Yeah.
And the whole point is we needed some place to publish stuff. So, and if you don't need a place, that's fine too. I mean, that's cool. But thanks so much. Please follow, and subscribe. Check out Cyburns' channel as well, which is you should be able to click on his name and
you can search Duckling Star. Search Duckling Star as well. And my channel, my stream will appear up. Yeah, true story.
That would be awesome. There's also some game streaming that Cyburns does.
Yeah, I might soon just. I might wrap those up around the 100th episode because they're not as popular. I think but I like the social I do like the social aspect of gaming sometimes.
I do too, and it's one of those things because I have the same thoughts because I've been fooling around with Volplaying games again, and I really enjoy it. I don't know if anybody watches them. I don't care.
Fair enough.
If they don't like mine, I still enjoy doing it. So I like watching your streams from time to time when I can catch
Mhm.
them. Usually
Yeah.
you're like doing them late at night though, or late at night for me. Anyways, we're going to bring this thing to a close. Thanks so much for stopping by, or if you're watching this
no
in
worries.
the future.
Thanks for
All
having me
right.
as well.
Awesome.
It's been fun.
Okay. It has been fun. Okay. We will see you later.